In the third year of President Donald Trump, when Justin Trudeau was Prime Minister in Canada and President Obrador was leading Mexico, I think, whoa, like, why did you give me all that specificity? Why did you give me all that detail? And you don't even know what I was going to say happened, right? Your ears perk up when you hear all of that detail because it makes you think, all right, something really important must be coming next. He's going to tell me some big event and is helping me know precisely where it fits in to North American history. When Luke begins to tell the story of the publicity of the coming Messiah by John the Baptist and then ultimately the beginning of Jesus' ministry, he goes into a list just like that. Listen to this. In the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, when Pontius Pilate was governor of Judea, Herod tetrarch of Galilee, his brother Philip, tetrarch of Iturea and Trachonitis, and Licinius, tetrarch of Abilene, during the high priesthood of Annas and Caiaphas. Okay, like that's a lot of information. And it makes you think that whatever he's going to say next must be pretty important. He wants his listeners to be able to pin down this event to world history. Well, what came next was important. John the Baptist was going to baptize Jesus. Before that, he was baptizing a lot of other people, giving them the joy of forgiveness of sin as they looked forward to Jesus himself dying on the cross to pay for their sin. So the event was important. But this also reminds us that Luke was reporting these events as history. He was connecting it to people and times that could be checked up on. And that matters because I need to know whether John the Baptist was a figment of early Christian imagination or whether he actually was on this earth. Whether he actually baptized Jesus. Whether Jesus actually had the voice of the Father coming from the sky saying, "This is my Son whom I love, with him I am well pleased." I need to know that. Because if this isn't historical, and Jesus is a charlatan, and the voice of the Father from heaven is all made up, and maybe God was not pleased with Jesus, then I am a fool for believing that Jesus is my Savior. Now, I'm not going to say that there isn't a miracle involved in the hearts of every individual who trusts that Jesus is their Savior. This is not something that we can come up with by our own heads. This is not something that we can trust in by our own strength. But it does matter, even when we speak about faith, which is a miracle, that the events we are believing in actually happened. If they didn't happen, then faith is pointless. It makes no sense. It ought to be ridiculed. We are to be pitied more than all people. But if we're trusting in things that are connected to a real point in history, well, that's the only time that trust makes sense. The coming of John the Baptist, which was getting ready for the coming of Jesus, was absolutely real history. And when did it start? In the 15th year of Tiberius. And I won't go on to say all of the other names. Just know that there was an actual point in history when God's plan to save you played out.